Okay. To my great surprise, my last video, in which I talk about the things that women should take care of if they have just gotten married or if they're in a marriage. Mm, you guys really responded nicely. When I say nicely, I was expecting a lot of hate for it or something. But I guess now every woman understands the value of what I shared, because it's happening all around us. That now it doesn't seem like a huge breakthrough anymore, because I think even though I talk to, let's say, four women every day, at least one of them is going through something which resonates with all the points I shared. I don't know if you noticed, but most of these points actually came from a lot of financial unawareness and autonomy, like lack of financial autonomy in a woman's life. And that's the whole thing. They never really give the power, financial power, to a woman while growing up, because they know that it will end up really kind of empowering her to make her own decisions at some point of time. So they make sure to make her so dependent and ill-equipped and disabled. That's a word, disabled, that when she, goes out in the world or to her in-laws' house, or even to, if she ends up marrying the love of her life, there is still this whole gap, the financial gap. And yeah, this just keeps getting darker and darker. And it's so funny because a lot of people think that only underprivileged women go through domestic violence and all these things. Bullshit. No. Like, even as I said, a woman who's like married to a millionaire, from a distance, you might just be like, oh wow, she's such a famous blogger. Look at her Hermes bag and Chanel bag. And so she has like millions of followers, and so many fans. She must not go through like any of this, right? Hell no. You don't realize how many women hide the fact that they are going through domestic violence, because they know deep down like what cost it is going to, they'll have to pay if they open up about it. And most of them just mentally shut down, they just keep living their life accepting the violence, because they know that there will nobody who will stand up with them if they try to, let's say, divorce the guy or call him out or whatever. Even like, let's say, take cases of all the celebrities, right? Like Karishma Kapoor. And when Aishwarya Rai opened up about her abuse, about Salman Khan, and yeah, nobody really showed up for her in the industry. They literally like made her leave movies that she was a part of. So industry got really biased and, obviously took side of Salman, and she got so disappointed in the industry itself that, she left the industry kind of. So, and a lot of other things here and there. There's so many people that I meet even on my day-to-day life, even so much of mm, women who I would put on a pedestal sometimes, to be honest, where they're like, wow, like this woman is so inspiring. 10 minutes of talking to her, I would get to know that, oh shit, like, she was also married to some really abusive asshole at one point of time. And then she came out of it, and, nobody helped her. She had to figure her way out of this, So, yeah, it's a thing. I really wish that we can learn to empathize a bit more when it comes to domestic violence situations that women go through, and not normalize them so much when it comes to just like living with it. Because, yeah, it's not okay. It's absolutely not okay. And that's why I decided to make that video and share those pointers that, even though I know most of those pointers we know already, but it's always good to kind of put them together. Yeah. The idea of putting public figures on a pedestal is extremely dangerous. Like, even me, I keep telling my clients all the freaking time, do not put me on a pedestal just because I have a strong social media presence. Do not even put me on a pedestal anyway, but only respect me and recognize me and the space that I'm providing you after working with me. And if you feel that this is substantial, if this is something that you feel that I'm a woman of substance and the work I'm doing is authentic, only then, talk about me or believe in me, basically, Don't just blindly be like, oh, like, look at her, like, she has these 100K followers. Exactly. Like, this is bullshit. These followers, Instagram page is nothing when it comes to credibility for anyone. Like, for example, a few days ago, I was talking to this lady who is this feminist, Instagram blogger, very famous. Like, her followers are increasing every single day. There are thousands of people who just like comment on her posts, share her videos because she sounds so informed, educative in her reels and stuff. And the funny part is that I DM'd her to ask for a reference of some lawyer so that I could help a woman in this particular city. And I didn't know. Usually, I keep, a lot of numbers of lawyers to help women. And I literally also have like this really backup team, to support women in a lot of ways, financial, legal, and whatnot. And like, it's a lot of hard work, okay? And in this situation, I thought, like, wow, like, this woman sounds so great. Like, she has such great content about like women and feminism and whatnot. Let me ask her about like if she knows a lawyer in this particular city, like, because I needed it urgently for this woman who reached out to me on Instagram. And I can't believe sometimes like how this, she said she doesn't have any number. Also, instead of like really even considering to help me, she said that she doesn't like to get involved in any of this stuff. She doesn't like to get involved in any of such stuff. So basically, it's a facade that you carry and portray on social media to it's a performative feminist situation, like how men are also performative feminists, like, when they read Virginia Woolf or try to sound like, they understand patriarchy and, use 2, 3 cool words. Similarly, I think a lot of times even women are performative feminists because if you're not doing something in the real world to change the situation or help more women, then what's the fucking point of putting all this content out there? Then it's, and you are also a part of the capitalistic society anyway, because you're just trying to get the views and the numbers, and then brands come to collab with you, and then of course, like, you're getting money and da 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 da. Da. But then that's such a yeah, um, it's such a disgrace that you're making money by performing like it's like feeding on again the misery of and the pain of so many women, that because you can phrase some sentences so nicely, like you can just make content and reels out of it, and women are just going to be like, oh wow, like, you're so right and this and that, and thank you for sharing this. But like in reality, you're not really making any change as such, like, you're not really being there for another woman, like when she really needs, as mere as a lawyer's number. Like, you get it? So, yeah, it kind of scares me sometimes how people like put people with like lots of followers on a pedestal. Like, I don't do that personally, and I've learned it the hard way, to be honest. Like, even if I would meet somebody tomorrow who has like millions of followers, I have now this set mentality that until unless I don't know this person like very deeply. Like, have hung out with this person at least a couple of times, and like I know that they have opened up to me to a certain level where I can really see through them and make an eye contact and have a vulnerable conversation. I don't form an opinion of them, and this is a conscious practice that I do, and I'm gonna continue to do it. And that's why it's so funny, because the city where I live in, first of all, it's like a post-colonial fever city, because people here still like preach how do I, colonialism to a great extent, and also they worship the royal families, and everybody's just like, oh my god, like this is the Maharaja of Jaipur, and this is this and that, and all of these things. Like, they really go crazy that they still call him by His Highness and whatnot. And believe me, like, growing up, I was also a part of this whole thing because I was raised that way. Like, you're conditioned to follow all these, like things, and thank God I began to unlearn, because I realized that I don't have to really hang out with these people. Like I don't really have to, like, because I was learning polo, I was learning shooting, I was always like around horses, and like, so I figured that there's no reason for me to hang out with people who I mentally don't really align with, just because, like, there's a certain status acceptance to them living in a particular city, because most of them were shallow as fuck, like so shallow. It was so boring to even just hang out with them, and I couldn't be myself. Totally a facade. So with time, I just grew distant with a lot of them, of course. And I think it was a really good decision. And I say this again to, mm, yeah, same thing to all the women and in general people, that stop putting people on pedestal so much. Like, most of the people here just assume that, like, when the introduction is happening or something, they just say, oh, that's Nimisha, like she's an influencer, and I don't even correct them, because I'm like, ab kaun batayega ki I know I'm not an influencer. I'm literally, like, I have a different profession. Like, I'm a well-being coach, like I'm a mindset coach, I'm a therapist, literally, like I'm telling you this. And but then they what how they correlate is that, oh, she has Instagram followers, so many of them, so she's an influencer. So that's the most now cliche and easiest way to introduce somebody who has like a public presence. That's first of all so non-creative, and it just takes away, I think, a lot of like value from a person's story and narrative. Like, so, but I don't waste my time in introductions anymore, particularly that way, because for me it's like very easy. I'm like, um, I walk into a room, I am the introduction. I mean, yeah, you know, and I'm really enjoying the whole transition specifically that happened for me this year. You know, it was insanely beautiful because, oh, I made some really bad financial decisions in the beginning of this year because I didn't know how to talk to all these cops and lawyers when I was just like filing these cases against my ex. And and then I realized that shit, I don't have any background as such. So I'm just learning through my mistakes, and that's okay. That's okay. I was like, it's okay, my love. Don't just feel so guilty, like, and shame yourself for this. You're learning, and I know it's costing you a lot, but you're learning, and one day this experience is going to be useful for your daughter, like, and your family and everybody. So yeah, I mean, I learned a lot this year, and I'm very grateful that I decided to come out of my comfort zone and really accept that, yes, I made some mistakes this year, and I'm going to recover hopefully soon. And I'm doing much better when it comes to at least my relationship with my body. Like, I consistently worked out this year. Took my girls out on a trip to the island and got 2 tattoos. I would love to obviously in one of the videos like talk about my tattoos, because yeah, this one is my favorite, like this Hanumanji. I think Hanumanji saved my ass, like literally. Oh my god. He's my companion, he's my best friend. He's somebody that I go to every time I feel my heart is getting heavy, or I feel I'm stuck in a emotional or mental conflict. And it's not like I tell him to help me or something, but I just open up, and it brings ease into my heart. Either way, it's just like he's there to listen, and his presence makes me feel stronger. Um, yeah, I think Hanuman ji is just, yeah, means a lot. Means a lot to me. And every Tuesday and Saturdays, I go to Hanuman temples, or in fact, whenever I can, I just go. I think that also happened this year for me. That I think most of the ease that happened in my life was just because I started to go to temples more and more. to find solace and find my answers. And I know a lot of people are not going to obviously relate to it, but for me, it's everything. I know that it worked for me. I know that it is going to continue to work for me, no matter what. And I don't care if, like most of my friends right now, they don't really relate to it. But then there are a few who absolutely do, and they would just, like my brother Jay would just randomly call me, and we just like, let's go to this temple, and then we just go. So I really like that. I like that space. In fact, and even in future, like I would just look at myself as a person who would honestly think that the ideal date place, if somebody were to ask me like, what would be your ideal date place to go to, I think it would be a temple. To just literally go to a temple and just sit quietly for a bit. You know, I think that's for me. Yeah. Mm, I guess this is something that I just generally wanted to talk about, I guess. And it's very interesting how I'm coming out of my YouTube blog, because I'm literally in my bed right now. It's what, 2 a.m., whatever. And I think this is me. And most of the time, I have to always like, gamble and like negotiate with myself that, oh, what part of me should I show to the social media? What part of me I should not? And now I'm coming to like a very neutral state about it, that fuck it. You do whatever the fuck you want to do, and you speak whatever you want to speak, and without feeling scared or worried about how it's going to be perceived, because you know what, it's anyway going to be perceived wrong if it has to be anyway. Because that's what I learned, like in the last few years, कि कुछ भी कर लूँ मैं, सांस भी ले लूँ, कुछ भी कर लूँ, रेडिट पोस्ट तो एक ना एक हेडरेट का आ ही जाएगा, कल को कोई ना कोई नेशनल आर्टिकल छप ही जाएगा. It's so funny, like how it happened. Like when I just posted about that, I'm looking for a co-owner of my apartment, and such a European like trendy thing. Because come on, you can own. और तो को ना हमेशा ही होता है कि कोई मर्द चाहिए होता है साथ में प्रॉपर्टी ओन करने के लिए, अगर वो जाते हैं तो उनसे सबसे पहले ये पूछते हैं कि क्या तुम शादीशुदा हो. आज होम लोन लेने जाती है अगर कोई औरत, तो ये पूछते हैं कि आर यू मैरिड. दैट्स हाउ it's easier for her to get the home loan. And even for the ownership of any property or ownership, whatever, it's like you need a man all the fucking time. And for me, I really just wanted to break that pattern, because when I bought this house, I was married at that point of time, and I bought it with an assumption that, I'm going to raise my family here at least for the initial 2, 3 years. But of course, like that, none of that really worked out, because damn it, like it was such a delulu. And then the entire responsibility of the place came on me, which, by the way, I fulfilled really, oh, fucking hell, like really nicely. Took care of the whole house. I've been taking care of all the EMIs. I've been taking care of every little thing. And it's so interesting because I had to really give up and accept the fact that I don't want to do this alone. So might as well really find somebody who I can share a bond with while enjoying this process of taking care of this house. And by that I meant like a really nice girlfriend. And oh my god, it became like a national news that, oh, this dumb influencer trying to scam people by co-selling her house and that. And I'm like, first of all, just because a woman is saying this, now it becomes like a news and a dumb idea, a dumb influencer, woman influencer saying this. यही बात कोई अगर मर्द कह रहा होता तो कल वो फोर्ब्स के कवर पे होता कुछ. मतलब मर्द कह दे तो वाह व्हाट अ इनोवेटिव आइडिया, औरत कहते तो डम इन्फ्लुएंसर, कि भाई यही है, मतलब ये बकचोदी कर रही है, स्कैम कर रही है. तो एंड वही हुआ 4 दिन बाद. Again, some, at least even Vogue India published that maybe the future is now friends co-owning place together. मैंने कहा यही चीज 4 दिन पहले मैं बोल रही थी, तो तुम्हारी क्या गांड में कीड़ा हो रहा था, मतलब खुजली हो रही थी, क्या है मतलब यार. तो हमेशा ऐसा होता है, like I come up with something, and like few years down the line it is like the hit. So I'm like always thinking like way before time. It has always been me, like imagine. And I've accepted it to the core. Like I'm pretty chill about it. And I think that's why Now I don't hesitate in just like expressing, because no matter what you say, anyway, you're going to be perceived as a dumb influencer. So might as well just speak your mind. So yeah, I love that. Like, I think every time, like, I remind myself that a free woman is a woman who doesn't have to maintain a reputation. And I think that's what really kind of inspires me, that, oh my God, like, yes, I am so liberated. Every time they attack me, every time they try to, humiliate me or something, they are only liberating me from the pressure of sounding sane to them. And I don't want to sound sane, and it it's so liberating. Oh my freaking God, I love it. I love this. Yeah, I love my work. I love having the space to speak. Extremely grateful for it. uh yeah. Anyway, thank you for listening. I guess in the next video I might just add some more value to your life by talking some sense, because I know in this video possibly I didn't. It was just a yapping session, but yeah, good to see you, and good night.